Riblets, it's me, Tom from Target Prime Rib. I'm here with the fabulous John Laspina, the the infamous carnivore teacher. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yes. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I've been suffering from a bad cold, but I
Oh, I'm
think
sorry.
that even with that, I still feel pretty fantastic. I don't know if that's a carnivore thing or if that's just a me thing. Um, so let me just turn off the volume. We got. I told you some of the people have been in here, but we got a few other ones now. We got Coach Juliet
Hi.
Edens is here, and CB Carmack. So we know there's going to be a lot of jokes that's going to be coming on in
All
here.
right.
So, um, because that's CB's format.
Shtick. Yeah.
So
Okay.
just get to the comments here. No questions yet, but if anybody does have any questions, just put a QQQ so then I can get to it right away, and we'll figure out how to do it because I'm still on the phone. I will actually be off the phone as of Monday, and we're going to have the computer, and everything is going to be a lot better. So, John, thank you for actually being on here, and and just dealing with the different like learnings and stuff like that.
No
But
problem. You're welcome.
I want to have John for two reasons. One, John, you had me on your channel twice, so I
Yeah.
thank you for that. Yeah. And then also too, I just you have a pretty good story. If I'm from what I remember hearing about it, I mean, there's so many stories. It's hard to keep up. But so I wanted to make sure you were definitely one of the people that was able to come on here and tell your story, and that I could feel good about myself, and also feel good, that I let you like had people tell their story. So Granny Boo just came on. I'm sure you've seen Granny Boo in the chats
Granny Boo.
before.
Hi, Granny Boo.
Yeah. So without further ado, after seeing Granny Boo, sorry, bad joke, bad rhyming scheme. I'm going to mute myself so then you have a little bit more flexibility to tell your story. All right.
All right.
So you take it away, John.
All right. So I've told this many times, but I try to tell it differently each time for each interview. One of the things I noticed is when people do interviews and they tell their story, they don't give all the details about their some of their personal information, which puts things in context. So I want to start with that this time and then go into my story. So I was born in the suburbs of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You're in New Jersey, right, Thomas? Yeah. And I'm 60 years old. I turned 60 a couple months ago. And I moved to Maryland in 1988. Then I moved to Florida in 2001, both for being a middle school teacher. I taught a total of 34 years, sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, language arts, social studies, video production, Microsoft Office programs, and so many other things. So I'm retired now, and I'm really excited about that. I've lost a lot of that stress, which in the health scene is a big factor of health, is managing stress. And so that's kind of gone. You still have to manage other stresses in your life, but the work part is gone. I'm so excited to be retired. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my teaching skills and my passion for the carnivore diet, and I started a YouTube channel a few years ago, and I first called it The Carb Addiction Teacher. And then I changed it to the Carnivore Teacher, and I just changed it a little bit recently to Carnivore Teacher Alpha because I kind of wanted to put that primal animal thing in there. I kind of like alpha. It makes it sound more base, animalistic and back to nature. And so let's get started. A lot of people start changing their way of eating because of something that triggered them to do it. Sometimes it's a disease, an illness, an ailment, a medical problem, and a lot of people do it because they just want to lose weight. So in my 20s, I started having lots of severe lower back pain. Didn't know what it was for. It came and it went so many times, and I suffered with it all the way up until about 7 years ago. Just persistent It came, it went, it came, it went. I never knew what caused it, and I never knew what stopped it. I tried everything, and I never knew what it was. I also would bite the heck out of my nails, like excessive compulsive. I fixated. I couldn't stop tearing at them. All my life, actually, the dentist even said, "You're wearing your teeth down, John. You've got to stop doing this." And I just never could do it. About 10 years ago, I was diagnosed, about 7 or 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation, which is where the top part of your heart is called the atrium, and it would beat out of sync with the bottom part, and that causes blood to pool, and it's not healthy. A person could have a stroke, and you need to get back into sinus rhythm. So let's see what else. I've had so many other issues, and I was getting heavy. I was getting heavy starting in my 30s and 40s and 50s. I put on weight. I didn't put on hundreds of pounds like some people, but I was about 35 pounds overweight, unhappy, looking in the mirror, didn't like what I saw. Never like, always sucked in my gut, and I'm looking at my pants, and the pant waist size was going up and up and up as the decades went on. So my turning point was another diet. Diets always worked for me. Every diet I ever tried worked. I lost the weight. I really did, and I looked great. And then, of course, what happens when you go off the diet? The weight came back on, and always a couple pounds more. Damn it, right? So I was there again about 7.5. I can't even know what time. A lot of people know how many months they're carnivore, how many days. I don't know my number. It's about 7 or 8 years ago. I decided to try something again to lose this stubborn weight. And I never heard of ketogenic. What is this thing called keto? So I watched a YouTube video online from Thomas DeLauer standing at a whiteboard. There's this very handsome, fit, muscular dude teaching what foods to eat, what foods not to eat, what's a protein, what's a fat, what's a carb. I didn't know what macros were. I didn't know any of this. It was not in the nutrition that I learned. The nutrition I learned was the food pyramid and the My Plate. Have a little bit of all kinds of foods. And so I tried it. And the first thing I did was I cut out all the grains, the flour, the potatoes, the rice, the wheat, the starch. I went in my refrigerator. I read anything that had any of the names for sugar, and I just threw it all out. And when I shopped, I bought meat, beef, lamb, pork, fish, eggs, and I also bought vegetables because I thought still at that point you had to have all these vegetables and some fruit because everybody knows you have to have so many servings of fruits and vegetables a day to be healthy. It's drilled into us for decades. So I did ketogenic for a year. And within the first month and a half, I lost the 35 pounds like that. And it just smacked me upside the head. And I thought, what the heck just happened? This is not like any diet I've ever been on. I feel great. I sleep better. I lost the weight. Oh my, I'm going to keep going with this thing. So I went with it for a whole year and I overshot my weight goal. I went about 10 pounds lighter than I should be. And I started getting real skinny. Like, this is just the best diet I've ever been on. I'm telling everybody about it. I started my YouTube channel. Then I got a kidney stone because in that ketogenic diet, I was having all the wonderful carnivore foods I talk about now, but I was also eating a lot of almond flour, making almond keto treats and almonds and nuts and seeds and I wasn't doing the legumes. I was doing a lot of spinach salads and using turmeric and cinnamon. And I was doing all the high oxalate plants, making smoothies with them, all because they were low carb, because that's all I knew at the time. So I'm watching more YouTube videos, got this kidney stone, went to the hospital, had to pass it, nightmare from hell. I won't go into it. I have a video about it where I show you the stone that I passed. But basically, it hit me in the head. And I went and I started Googling kidney stone, calcium oxalate stone. What caused it? Oh my gosh, I did this to myself. I ate too many high oxalate foods. more than I ever did my whole life. So I had my whole life building up. And then when I went ketogenic, I overdid the oxalate plants just because they were low carb. So I cut the big offenders out, the spinach and the almond flour and the dark chocolate. And I started eating low oxalate plant foods. And I went ketovore. So I switched from keto to ketovore. And I did that for 3 years. Fantastic. No more kidney stone problems, no more problems. And then I'm watching, you watch your YouTube videos and one leads to another, which leads to another. And I went down all these rabbit holes. I watched Anthony Chafee. I watched Ken Berry. I watched Professor Ben Bickman, Dr. Robert Sivas, all these greats, right? Teaching me. I couldn't get enough. I had my earbuds in my ear while I'm working out and cleaning the house and cutting the lawn and anything I'm doing. I'm educating myself and I'm having all these epiphanies. And every day I made a new change. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm so close to carnivore. Let me just take out the rest of the plants. So I took out the rest of the plants and I've been a carnivore for 2.5 years now where I'm basically 98, 97% carnivore. Sometimes I use a little mustard. I'm trying to think. I had a little oregano once. I don't really eat any plants anymore. And that pushed me over an amazing line where I didn't think I could feel any better. And I felt even that much better on as pure carnivore as I could go on. So this is why I'm a carnivore today, because I feel great. I look great when I look in the mirror. I like what I see when my clothes are off. For the first time in my life, I've never felt so good. I do go to the gym, I work out, I try to get good sleep, I try to manage my stress. But the lower back pain disappeared 7 years ago when I took out all the starch and carbs and seed oils. The obsessive compulsive disorder to bite and rip my nails just disappeared. I have no desire to do this OCD thing anymore that I was doing since I was 6 years old. It just disappeared. I've been in remission from my AFib almost that whole time without meds. It's really amazing what nourishing the body with the proper foods can do for you. It healed me from the inside out. And now I have to share this. I can't keep, like you, Thomas, I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't. I have to tell it. So being the teacher that I am, I do little lessons. I have a YouTube channel where I share short lessons every day. I do interviews like this. I do Sunday School Carnivore with a panel. And I'm trying to pay it forward because other people paid it forward for me and improved my life because I had to do the work. But because they were on, I was able to see it and learn and grow and heal. So I feel an obligation to do the same thing. So that's why I'm on. So that's my long story. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Or I can go longer if you want.
No, of course not. Juliet has a question. I was able to put it in the chat, up in the screen,
I
but
see it.
I'll also voice it. After getting too skinny on keto, did you gain the extra weight lost back? And how did I happen to naturally? How did it just happen naturally on carnivore?
Oh, okay. All right. So just to give you perspective, I'm 5'10".
Oh, my height.
I was close to 200 pounds when I needed to lose the weight. And I overshot. I went all the way down to like 155, 160-ish. And I really look skinny. And that's because I don't think I ate enough fat. Now that I understand it better, I think I was eating lower fat, more protein, no carbs. And so when I went ketovore and I started eating more, I learned about eating more fat, making sure my fat to protein ratio was where my body wants it. And I ate until I learned what my signals were. They cleared up finally, the signals, and I knew what comfortably stuffed felt like. I knew what it felt like to eat until the food didn't taste good anymore. So I ate more food, I ate more fat, but it was beef, lamb, pork, poultry, fish, and egg food only. And I put some weight on, and I think the weight was muscle. I didn't put fat back on. I put more muscle on. So, I'm getting bigger and I'm kind of happy about it. I can see it over the years. So and being 60, putting on muscle is extremely important because as we age, that's what counts when you get older, the amount of muscle that you have as you age. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, and then she gives you a compliment. You're a great teacher. Love watching your channel, John, and of course yours too, Thomas. Thank you for the compliment,
Well,
Juliet.
thank
I
you. Thanks,
appreciate it.
Juliet. Appreciate it.
And so we got a few more people that just came on. So Main Runner. I don't know if you ever heard of Main Runner.
Mm-mm.
Think she's pretty new. She's
I
been
may
for a
runner.
few weeks, but and you got to know Scooby the dog, Ellen, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, she's mostly on with Mitch, but she's been on other things too. So
This
hello,
is
Ellen. How we
so
doing?
great that there are all these channels now and all
Yeah.
these people and everybody has the cool
I don't
handles. We make these
I
handles
don't
for
know if
ourselves.
Scooby the dog actually has a I think she has a channel because of being on here, but I don't think it has any
Uh,
content on it. Um, and then I already said about Granny Boo.
mhm.
And then somebody else I saw too. Oh, Roxanne Friend. I don't remember ever seeing Roxanne. So Roxanne, if I have seen you and I forgot, I apologize. If I haven't, welcome. Um, and we just got in 2 seconds ago. Our infamous Keto Simple Dustin is here.
Hello.
So hello, Dustin. I actually found Dustin. I shouldn't really say met Dustin. From watching a Chris Cooking Nashville video. He was on that and then got into seeing Dustin. So one of these days I'll have Dustin on the show, which will be really good. You know, I always plan on having, like you said before, it's like, like that's, I think, why I like having other people on my channel because I want the feeling I get when I hear other people's stories and allowing people to tell their story is just so gratifying to me. It puts me over the moon.
They're all different, aren't they? If you listen to like Dave Mack, then you just thousands of stories. They're so inspiring. I don't know if
Yeah,
mine was, but everybody, people can find something in somebody else's story, and some people it touches them, and they see something in themselves, and they make a change. So stories are. Think about how we used to teach hundreds of thousands of years ago, before we even had typeset and writing and printing. People passed down from generations. They told stories. We told stories to our children, and their children told it
yeah,
to their children. That's how learning took place years ago. And here we are, modern technology with all the phones and the crap that we have, and we're still stories. It's really the best means, the best way to educate and teach something is through a story.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was really sick, and I had my toes taken off, I had all this stuff going on with me. The one thing that bothered me the most is no one wanted to listen. No one, like I would try to talk about it, and like my family, I love my family, but none of them would, like, they would kind of like pass me up. They'd be like, "Oh no, it's not that bad. Oh, you're not, you can get through it. You're okay. You can get through it." And they thought that I wanted to be coaxed into like comfort, but it wasn't that. It was that I needed to get out
Right.
what was going on, and that's why I do what I do, because it just makes me like, the channel's great, the YouTube, I love doing my videos, but I'm not really helping anybody else. It just feels so gratifying helping other people, even the big wigs, like when I heard Carrie Mann and Dave Mack tell their story,
Oh yeah,
that was pretty gratifying,
it is.
and people just don't realize it. That's why I get so frustrated when I can't get any other people on. It's like, I just want you to tell your story.
I
So,
learned to just ask. Send an email. You never know
oh,
who's going to
I do,
respond.
and you get
Yeah.
like,
Some people
it's
don't. Some people
yeah,
do. Some people, they're busy and they put you on 3 months from now, but you get them. So
right,
absolutely ask. You'd be surprised. I got Dr.
yeah.
Anthony Chafee recently. I never thought he would say yes to me, and we
I
did it.
I would never imagine definitely not Dr. Barry. I definitely
Oh,
never
well, I
imagined.
try. He's super busy. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't get him, but you never know. Just put your feelers out there, and you'd
yeah.
be surprised who comes on. I got Dr. Sally K. Norton. She agreed to be interviewed. by me. You know, I'm holding her book up and bragging about it and everything, all excited. So,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
sort of met her on Kilts. Like he does a Zoom call
Yeah,
every Monday,
every month.
and I actually met George is in that Zoom call.
Yeah.
I met him, met her. I'm sorry, not him.
Yeah,
You know,
she's so
and I didn't really
gracious.
talk to her, but Mitch talked to her. I was there when Mitch was talking to her, and he has the same feelings for her. Um, because I mean, yeah, she's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, she is.
But I think everybody, in some way or another, is pretty remarkable. I think that we were all brought here under certain circumstances, because I think this is how I feel. I think the ones that have come here for just weight loss and just weight loss don't really last. Not to be mean or anything like that. Or if they do last, it's because something that they didn't realize they had was fixed. And it's like,
That's usually the
oh,
case. Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say? So
Mhm.
if it's just for weight loss, it's like, oh, well, I don't know. I guess this is working or not. And they just don't see. But when you have people like me, like you, like Dave Mack, that had a stroke at 17 years
Yeah.
old,
Yeah.
and I can't wait. But I'm gonna be Dr. Nelson's gonna be on here, so that's gonna be fabulous. I know
Yeah.
he was on your channel on. I don't know if
What an amazing human being he is.
yeah,
He's so nice. You're gonna love him. Yeah.
and let's go. How about Lewis? He was my first interview, and
Yeah.
he tells an amazing story. And I know Rick has an amazing story that most of
Rick
us know
Rick
already.
is so
But
unique.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, just to have them on, and I know Rick is going to do some show and tell, so it's going to be
That's what's
interesting to
so
see.
cool. He's gonna hold things up and talk about things.
The Rick Museum, like he should put like a nice suit on Milton and like have him be the
Right.
curator
He'll
and
just
all
be
that
talking,
stuff.
and all of a sudden you'll see something come into the
He
shot, and
just sets it
it's
up.
something from 1960.
Yeah.
I see some questions over there. Um,
Did I miss some questions?
Coach
I
Juliet has a
apologize.
long one, but there was a couple before that if you wanted to do those.
Let me just go back in the thing. So, how did you meet Stephanie and George? Oh,
Stephanie, oh, George.
sorry to interrupt you. Sandy just did ask a question. You could do
All
both
right.
questions, mine and hers. Do you take creatine?
I do not take creatine, but I tried creatine monohydrate. I tried it several times because I heard that it helps with mental acuity and helps your bulk and your workout. Every time I take it, my body doesn't like it. I get I get almost nausea and sometimes a headache. I Googled it. I tried so many things. I can't take creatine. So that's my answer for that one. I do. Everyone I know raves about it though. So
Okay, so the one from Juliet we already answered. That was the one with the weight loss and stuff like that
mhm.
of you losing all that weight. So we did already do that. But let me see. Oh, here's another one that maybe this is what you were talking about. Okay, so John, you always seem so calm. You talked a bit about stress, prior job. How do you manage the stress besides being carnivore, which totally helps? So
Oh
she's
boy.
just pretty much asking, how do you
Well,
deal
if
with
you
your
knew
stress?
me my whole life, you would not know me now because I am much calmer than I was my whole life. I used to be a very hyper mess, and I had a lot of issues with depression as well. I didn't mention that in my explanation of carnivore. Um, Diet absolutely has caused me to calm down. I don't feel so anxious and loaded, and I have to hurry up and jump on everybody's words anymore. And it's because of the my glucose balance and insulin balance in my body. That's basically it. And it has caused me to be stable. I also do boxed breathing. I taught the students when I had them, because right after COVID, we had to teach the kids about mindfulness, how to reduce stress. And so I applied those to my life, and I found breathing exercises to be very helpful. It's almost like meditation or prayer. It absolutely pulls you into a center and balances. I inhale box breathing is like you inhale for 7 seconds, you hold it, you exhale for 8 seconds, inhale exhale, inhale, and I just do a box in your head, and you'd be surprised how that calms you down even more. I also do a lot of gratitude. I focus on, sometimes I do it on paper. I write down all the things for which I'm grateful. Man, is it an amazing exercise to help you calm down and feel good about yourself.
Yeah. So I hope that helps, Juliet. I've done box breathing once or twice. I don't really do it a lot, but I've done it. Like it's like, okay, I'm gonna try this because I could use it.
You have
And
to
Sandy says that she
force
loves
yourself
box
to do
breathing as
it, but
well.
once you do it, you get a benefit. Yeah.
My I never learned. I didn't really learn it from Carnivore. I learned it from my
Something.
counselor.
All right.
She
It
used
works.
box breathing.
Breathing.
So
Yeah, we used to help the kids who were anxious and stressed. It would pull them out of their fight or flight mode and into their executive state. We taught the kids about the different states of the brain and the different parts of the brain. And when they're all hyper and upset and stressed out, when you do breathing, it changes the thinking. It really works on adults too. It pulls you back into your own self control. So that's why it works.
sorry about that.
That's all
I
right.
was checking something out. So you guys got to see a very fine thing in my thumb.
Ah,
um, all right, people I mean, don't forget, John's a teacher. So if anybody knows how to answer questions, it's John. Okay. So
I'm a student too.
that is true. I guess we're all teachers and students in our own
Yeah.
way. But you actually have the title of teacher. So
Well, I have 34 years under my belt of teaching. But you know what's interesting? I was talking to somebody about this. When I haven't taught for a couple of years now, and I lost I lost the ability to be patient. You learn that, relearn that every year when you restart teaching after the summer vacation. It's like a muscle. It has to be worked. You have to use your listening skills and your deep thinking. So you have to start from scratch each time. So anybody can be a teacher. You just take what you know and share it. And if somebody can take something from that and apply it to their life and to get a positive outcome, you were the teacher, they were the student. That's all.
So Lewis just joined in, which I'm pretty happy about. Not that I'm not happy about everybody else joining in. It's just Lewis is my moderator, and I don't have to worry about like finding things now because Lewis should have the power, unless something happened,
All right,
to
Lewis, use your
actually
power.
put yes,
My,
use your power, Lewis. Um,
I see my friend George. One of the questions was, how did I meet Steph and George?
yes.
George and I were on the Carnivore Soldiers Wednesday Night Live. It was a Wednesday night show, and from there, I took over that show, and then from there, I interviewed George like you're interviewing me, and then we decided to start Sunday School Carnivore together. So I see George every Sunday, and either he is the leader, the headmaster, or I'm the headmaster, and I lead the show. So and then Stephanie came along through George. I met Stephanie through George. She's wonderful. Happy, sexy health.
Okay.
And Steph was our
So
first guest. Yes.
Ellen, Scooby the dog, is asking a question. What kind of teacher were you for your day job?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I taught middle school, which was sixth, seventh, and eighth graders in public school. I taught language arts and social studies most of my career. And then the last 17 years of my career, I taught video production. I ran a little miniature television studio in my middle school. We did a live morning show every day with the microphones and the setup and the cameras and the lights and everything. And the students put on the show, and I taught them Final Cut Pro, iMovie, GarageBand, all the programs for producing a video and audio. And so I was kind of a special teacher the last 17 years. I loved it. I loved it. And then I taught up until the year after COVID, 2 years after COVID, and then I retired.
And what grade levels did you teach?
Sixth, seventh, and eighth grade.
And that was Lewis's question, in case you didn't see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Jemmet, Lewis, one right above you, Lewis, is asking a question. I had panic disorder, which there is no cure. I am carnivore and it helps so much, but I still do cognitive therapy. Any other suggestions? Thank you.
Oh, wow. Jemmet, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what to share with you other than what else could you do but eat the proper human diet, give your body the best appropriate nourishment made for the human species, manage stress, get good sleep, and everything falls into line. We, as humans, we want quick fixes, and sometimes these take time. They don't happen overnight. And you already said that you're seeing a lot of improvement already. I would just say keep on the same track and keep going. I don't see going any other direction than eating properly and having a positive outlook. It's going to continue to improve in that. The trajectory is going to stay the same and you'll get better, is my thought.
That makes sense to me, too. So Erin, Booby Goats just joined, and I think you've had her on
I
your
know
channel.
Booby Goats. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Hi, Booby Goats.
I mean, I know, like, I told my family about what I do, and they're still reluctant.
That's all right.
But I mentioned different people's channels, and the two people I mentioned was Aaron Booby Goats, and of course Rick Charger Mopar,
Mhm.
and you know, and the friend of the family's, he was like totally like he couldn't stop laughing every time he heard the name Booby Goats. He
Well,
just
yeah, it's
couldn't
funny.
stop.
It's fun to say. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cute. I
Yeah, it
want to
was like
share.
I mean, this guy's like 65, but
Uh,
it was like he was 5 years old, you
Booby
know?
Goat. It's just funny. You're saying the word booby. And
Yeah.
I want to
So,
share something with you that George shared with me was it last Sunday or the Sunday before? And we were
okay.
talking about this topic of our friends and our family are the ones who don't tend to accept us or believe us or want to support us in our carnivore way of eating. And of course, we have found so much success with this that we want to share it with everybody. And we especially want to share it with the people we love the most, right? Yet those are the ones that tend to reject us first. And he shared, and I'm not going to write it down or anything or say it, but there was a biblical verse. It was a New Testament verse about how when Jesus was rejected by when he went to his hometown. And it was kind of an interesting. I thought, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. That as you know, we tend to not be accepted by our own people when we make a change, just like it was in the Bible. So I have found that too with my family and my friends. They don't want to hear it. Even 7 years later, they don't want to hear it. You know, I published a book. I have my channel. I have almost 6,000 subscribers, and they're not on there. They don't want to see it. And that's okay with me now. I'm fine because I've changed. You know, I'm healthier. I visually look better. I feel better. And at some point, maybe it has happened for some of them, they're going to see that. They're going to say, well, what are you doing that's different? Wow, you are so happy and healthy. So I've learned, you know, let your progress speak because the words, you know, just like you found with your family, you know, they're going to poo-poo you, and just let it go and hang out with your tribe like we're doing because we get support from one another.
So Lois just asked a question. He's asking, John, are you still a Mac user at home? And did you hear that Thomas is getting a MacBook Air soon?
Is that what you're getting?
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna love. I'm on a MacBook Air right now. This camera is a MacBook Air, and it's very light and efficient. And I've always been a Mac user. I can use a Windows computer because I had to at work. I had to use both at work, but I love Macintosh. I'm very fast with it. So I highly recommend it. Plus, I have an iPhone, an iPad, AirPods, Apple Watch. You know, I'm an Apple guy.
Yeah, no, I'm supposed to be getting it. My boss showed me my sort of through my work. There's like sort of this like thing where I would have originally have had to save for months and months
Yeah, they're
before I would get
expensive.
it. And so my boss asked me, he goes, "Well, we have a program here at work where you just pay like so much every week, like $30 or something like that, and just out of your paycheck, and then we take it. And I couldn't really do it for me, but he did it on his, and I just pay him back. And and it was like, okay, anything to get the computer faster. And so I went with that program, and I'm getting it delivered on Monday.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
So
Yeah.
just in time. I don't know if it's going to be because I have an interview on Tuesday. I don't know if it's going to be just in
Well, you're
time.
gonna need to spend some time. Are you used to using an
Right.
Apple?
So I'm thinking my Saturday interview with Rick, I should have it already.
All right. If you're
But
not used to it, it's going to take a little setup time, a little used to time. You do all your little test it out first before you do anything live, and you should be good.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I'm figuring. So I have one more guest after you that I probably will be on the phone, but I don't think that guest actually requested to be a mystery.
Oh,
So I can't really
interesting.
say who it's going to be. Yeah,
Ooh,
they thought,
now I'm curious.
and it's I sort of agree with that person. It sounds kind of fun, so I actually put it into my thumbnail, the mystery guest.
The
And what I
mystery.
did was I actually got the person's picture. I'm saying that person so you don't get like fixed and be like, okay, I at least know what gender it is. I got that person's picture, and then I actually did oh god, what do we have it here? A co-captain or something like that,
Mhm.
co-pilot on my computer now, and I said do a silhouette of this picture, and just made a silhouette. So it's
Oh,
actually the picture of the
all right.
person, but it's in silhouette form, so you can't really tell who it is.
Cool.
So it's kind of cool. But I mean, this computer does do some good things. The only problem is it only has 8 gigs of memory, so
Oh,
8 gigs of RAM. So
you need
when it
more.
comes to live streaming,
Yeah.
I freeze. Like sometimes I have to roll the dice. Like I think I was on the computer when I was on um, Sunday school at that time. So I was like the whole time I was on Sunday school, I'm like, please do not freeze, please do not freeze, please do not freeze. But then Erin actually, she actually said that she does it on her phone all the time.
My old MacBook, the one before this one, was an older one, had a hard drive that spun. It would heat up a lot. So when I used to do these with Carnivore Soldier, actually, I had to take freezies from my freezer and put the laptop on top of the freezies so it wouldn't freeze up. And this one is more solid state, this one that I'm using now, and it doesn't get hot. It's funny what we have to do to make things work. I saw
Yeah.
Gemmet wants to know something else. Can I read that? As
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I
carnivore.
get so much into the conversation, I
That's all
don't.
right. I want to answer that.
Okay. Well, I'll read it. And
All right.
carnivore teacher. Yes, carnivore helps. I meant if had any ideas like yoga or deep breathing. I pray a lot, and I stay positive as mind controls the body. Thank you.
And I'll just tap onto that is prayer is a form of meditation and believing in a higher power. And it is amazing what it does for the body when you believe in something. Absolutely pray. Yoga is a form of meditation that you're doing with the body, visualization, everything that you do in those little categories to add on to your life during the day is absolutely going to help you calm, help with anxiety, help with stress. Is there anything else? Because I don't do anything else, I don't know what else to tell you. A sauna, a hot tub, be out in nature, absolutely. In the morning, earthing, grounding, getting sunlight first thing in the morning all helps set your circadian rhythm, helps with mood, helps with blood pressure. All of that helps with anxiety and stress. So, wearing blue blocker glasses at night if you're going to be on blue screens and stuff, when you tick all the boxes that you can, it makes a difference. So do all the things you mentioned, and I would Google more, see what lists can come up on the internet that can help you add to your routine of helping you stay calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
Because some things work better than others, and you have to try them out for yourself, I think.
So, Juliet, she said not a question, but I guess it's more for me. Wanted you to see Alia. Wanted you to see Alia from Kills on my channel tomorrow. So congratulations, Juliet, getting Alia on your channel. And Thomas, I'm going to ask her when we get our Kills certificate. All right. What time is your thing? Is with Alia on the channel? Like what time is it? And Jemet just says thank you, John Carnivore. I love nature.
Then
So that's good. I mean,
get
that's
out in
pretty.
nature more is my answer.
That's why I
Inhale,
walk the park.
breathe
I love being in
deeply.
the
Yeah,
park.
look at the birds, look at the trees, feel the. I mean, oh God, I love it too. Walk in a park, look at the ducks and the birds, and just
Yeah.
submerge yourself in nature. Is healthy, and sunlight.
Yeah.
Can't beat
I
them.
remember doing a video because I was lucky enough to have my camera, my phone. 'Cause I bring my phone usually, but sometimes the battery needs to be charged, so I just bring I my sugars have been a little high lately, but I just bring this guy here, and I just go for a walk around. 'Cause it's right behind my house, so I don't really have to worry about like, oh, needing my phone or anything like that. Maybe at one time I did, but now I'm pretty safe. And but this time I actually had my phone and I recorded, had my selfie stick too, and found a bunny rabbit.
Uh,
And I just did a video on the bunny rabbit just being a bunny rabbit, just hopping around and just looking around and everything. And every once in a while I'll get, like, it's a dog park, so every once in a while I'll get the dogs and they'll come up and they say hello and the camera's still on. you know.
I get a
So I
lot
get
of oxytocin chemical when I walk around my neighborhood and the people are walking their dogs, and some of the wonderful dog walkers, they're friendly. Oh my gosh, I get down, they come up to me, they lick my face, I kiss them, they rub their belly. Some of them, some of the owners don't want you to touch their dogs. I come home and it's like, holding a baby or petting. You get this chemical released called oxytocin. It's a happy chemical. Makes you feel good, makes you relaxed. So just there's an answer for Gemmet again. Hold a baby. If you don't have a pet, go play with somebody's pet if you love pets. You get these amazing feel good chemicals when you give love and affection and you get it in return. It's amazing, and that calms you down too.
Okay. So Lewis just asked you if you're going to hack your health.
I am going to Hack Your Health. I will be there. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I've got my hotel. I've got my ticket. Um, I interviewed Switzer, who is running the event. It's an interview on my channel. There's an example. I just threw out a question. Would you let me interview you? And she just said yes. So if you want to check that out on my channel, just type in Carnivore Teacher Hack Your Health. You'll see the interview all about this wonderful event. I went last year and a few years before that. Amazing event. You're going to meet so many people if you go and learn so
Sorry about
much.
that.
Are you
So
going,
Sandy's saying
Thomas, by
I'm
the way?
frozen. What was that?
Are you going?
No,
No.
unfortunately, I can't afford it.
All right. You'd
Maybe
have to
next
fly
year.
down. Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
more
if
expensive.
I could, I'd walk to it. But
I hear you. Yeah.
unfortunately,
See,
that
for
might
me,
not be good.
it's over in Tampa, so I could just get in the car and I'm over there in a few hours, which I'm lucky
Well,
this year.
mine was a joke. I'm not going to actually walk to it. But
I know.
yeah. I mean, I'm crazy, but not that crazy. Um, I'm sorry, boss. I'm going to have to take the next few months off. Well, why? I'm going to walk to
Be like
this.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Yeah. See how long my hair and
All
beard
right.
grow by then and stuff. So so Sandy said that I'm frozen. So I don't know.
You were frozen. You're in and out frozen. You're not frozen right now.
Right. But you know what? The quality on it must be something wrong with the excuse me. I don't want to. I have a drink on the table, so I don't want to
It's all
knock
right.
it
If you're
out.
on your phone, it could be the tower, it could be your
Oh,
Wi-Fi. I
that's
don't
true.
know.
I mean, I see myself perfectly on the phone.
Yeah,
I
but you don't. Other people, you
it's
don't see other what other people see if you're frozen. It's no big
right,
deal.
which is fine as long as you're not frozen. That's all I care about.
Uh,
You know. So,
that happens too.
like I only care if my guests aren't being heard. Like I could care less. Like you could have me muted, and I know it's my channel. I get that, but the whole reason why I do this is for the guests.
Right,
If
right.
that makes
You're
any
frozen
sense.
now. Oh, there's Rick.
Yep.
Quack your health. And do you know
Rick,
I
Rick.
haven't met Rick in person yet? We live about an hour and a half and maybe about an hour and a half away from each other. We have to meet sometime, Rick. I don't. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
I'm up in Boca Raton. He's down in Miami, and yet I haven't met him. I've got to do that. I've met Papa Carnivore, who lives just east of me in the same city, and we just ran into each other one time in a restaurant. That was fun. And then we saw each other at another event. But yeah, I've got to meet Rick one of these days in person.
Oh yeah. Well, I think he's going to be. He's supposed to, I think, to be at Heck Your Health.
Oh, good. I hope so.
So you're going to have your chance.
Good.
You know.
Oh, I get to meet so many people there, and get
Yeah.
we're
I
going to
mean,
meet.
I think based on I'm sure Lewis will let me know, and if he doesn't, I'm telling him to let me know how it went. So then I would know what to expect if I go next year. So if I have to go next year, I'm sure it's going to be just as spectacular as this year. I'm sure every year it's always better and
It's
better and better.
better. Yeah, yeah.
Because isn't that the way things are in life basically?
Yeah.
Like
Not
each
all
time
things,
it gets well, you know what I mean. It just
but
gets
things
um
like this tend to grow and
right.
become big. Sometimes when they get too big, they're not so great. So hopefully, this will continue
That's
to be
true.
as
Yeah, don't
amazing.
they say that about the other one?
I don't know which one.
There's one that's started off as keto, and it's like 4,000 people or something like that go, and it's just so advanced. So
Hack Your
you
Health
know,
used to be called Keto Con.
maybe, maybe it's still Hack Your
Yeah,
Health, but
Keto Con
I
became
I
Hack Your
do.
Health
I
last
mean,
year.
I have to admit, I like the one I was in. I like the one I went to with Kilts and Carrie and the one in Boston, and I went there
Oh,
with Lewis. That's where I met Lewis. I did like that one. It was big, but it wasn't like overly big. So I mean, you still met a lot of people, but it wasn't in the thousands. It was like more like in the hundreds. And met a lot of good people there. And and I got to meet like half of Lewis's cats, and
ah,
so it was pretty cool.
Rick says he's looking forward to our awkward encounter. I don't think it would be awkward. I can't wait to meet you, Rick. Can't wait to meet you and look up at you.
Well, if we know Rick John, he will make it awkward.
Oh, I
He'll
won't
never-
make it be awkward. I'm going to give you a big hug, Rick, whether you like it or not, because I feel like I know you so well from all the
Well,
lives we've been
I
on.
made I made a comment because I don't know who was all going, but I know two people are definitely going to Hack Your Health, and I said to Rick and Lewis. I don't think Lewis saw the comment, but I said to Rick on his channel today. I said, the first person who's going to really go up to you and talk to you is probably going to be Lewis. He's like, yeah, sure. So Lewis, you're obligated now to be the first person to go up to Rick. So let me just see. Yep, he just confirmed. He said it will be me. Can't wait to see Rick. Yeah, no, I definitely I hope that Rick goes next year so then I can see him then. Um, you have to be patient sometimes. As disappointing as it is when you can't do something, you have to just be like, you know what, I can't afford it. I can't go. There's always next year, and just it's like when you see your favorite movie. It's like, oh my god, I can't see it when it comes out.
Right,
Like,
right.
and then you finally do see it, and it's like, okay, all right. So there's another one too I want to go to, but I'm not sure what date it's in. It's
I
the one
wanted
that's
to go
supposed
to
to
Meat
be.
Stock, for example, next year,
That's the
and
one. Is that the one that's
I'm
wrong with
looking
you?
at it. I'm looking at the airports that I'd have to fly into. I'm looking at how much it's going to cost for me to stay at the cabin's no longer available. I have to stay at the hotel, and how much everything costs. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty expensive. And I really want to go to Meat Stock because there's some people that are going to be featured there that I haven't met yet in person, and I want to see. And it's really steep money wise. So I didn't go. I'm not going to that one again. I hope they come down in
Yeah.
price or something.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, luckily I have my work now, but
If
still.
you book early for Hack Your Health, I bought my ticket way back after the last one ended, and it was so much cheaper than it is now. So if you really want to go to some of these, you want to try to book early because they always increase the price as it gets closer to the event, which I wish they wouldn't do.
Right, which is kind of weird, but yeah, I get it.
There's
Um,
Rick. Yeah, right, Rick. I can't even afford meat stock. That's
yeah,
crazy.
right.
Really want to go there. So-
Um, Juliet, they're talking about Rick going and everything like that. So Juliet, I just have to say this. Juliet says, "Oh my God, I would love to meet Milton. Can't you bring him?"
I don't think he's
So
bring. I don't know. Can you
I
bring
don't,
Milton? Rick, that would
I
be
can't
cool.
see him bringing Milton.
Well, I don't know if they'd allow pets in there unless it's one of those pets that has the little
uh,
certificate that says you're allowed to bring them everywhere. And usually they're not
yeah,
cats.
no, Lewis just said
Yeah.
no cats. So if Lewis can't bring a cat, I'm sure neither can Rick.
Yeah, there's George. George, Stephanie and I already talked today, and I have her sign on, so I'll be controlling the Sunday School Carnivore. It'll just be you and I and a different guest that was scheduled, she said, but we're all ready to go, and we'll be fine, hopefully, as long as I don't have any glitches. Like there's a lot of thunderstorms around now here in South Florida, and sometimes the power goes out. And I'm always thinking, oh, don't do that when I'm live, please. I need my internet. So we'll see how
Yeah,
that
and
goes.
I got to thank you guys again for having me on your show. So
Absolutely.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it was great having you on. Any other questions or comments or anything at all? I'd be
Anything,
happy to
Lois.
ask.
If you see anything in the chats, just
I got to get going in
um,
about 6 minutes here.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't
John,
stay on.
actually, we're only doing this for an hour. I didn't say anything before to anybody. John actually has another interview that's going on, so you know we we're a busy bunch, so it's just good,
Coach
right?
Juliet wants to know, are you both doing the dinners? Are you talking about at Hack Your Health
I would
or
assume.
do best with no stress fight or fight? I'm not sure. I'm if there are dinners, I'm not doing it. And I think there was a Carrie Mann fundraiser dinner for the movie, and I did that last time. And I looked at the price for it this time, and it's out of my range too. So I'm not going to be doing that personally. But I support him. I send money his way when I can for this movie.
Over Terry, yeah.
Yeah, Carrie Mann.
Um, okay, so Lewis is asking a question. Do you think your energy or patience as a teacher would have been different if you ate this way
Oh,
back then?
heck yes. And I did start eating this way when I was keto and switched to ketovore. I was still teaching the last year or two, and I noticed a gigantic difference in my patience and my calmness and things that used to bother me with the kids that didn't bother me. And I can't even imagine how much better it would be now that I'm a carnivore. So for sure, it really affects your mood and your
Yeah.
outlook.
And then he follows up with, did your diet ever come up in the teacher's lounge or with
Uh,
students?
the students sometimes asked, they would come back from lunch. I picked them up and I still had my food, which was leftover meat from the night before or something. And I've had a discussion with them. I explained it to them and they thought it was crazy because they don't eat sugar. The kids live on sugar. The teachers, some of them knew that I was eating this crazy diet. And those teachers are my friends on Facebook. So they're my friends. I've got friends from my Maryland years and my Florida years and my family, and they fit into that category. They think he's the crazy guy who doesn't eat any carbohydrates. Something's wrong with him. So yeah, I don't, it doesn't bother me anymore what people think. I've turned a corner, which is why I changed my name to Carnivore Teacher Alpha. I added the word alpha because I've decided finally at the age of 60 to stop caring about what other people's opinions are of me. And I don't care anymore. It doesn't affect me. I lost that fear of rejection when I went carnivore and turned 60. I don't know. I'd love to pass that on to people. It's a powerful, freeing feeling to not feel chained to other people's opinions. So I don't care what they think. I know N equals one. This is the diet for me. This is my way of life, and there is no going back. The bell is rung. I can't unring it. There's no way I will ever start eating that other food again. And if they don't want to do it, that's on them. But I can't force it down their throats.
Quick question before I ask the next question.
Yeah.
When is Hack Your Health? Like, what? I know it's
Hack
in
Your Health
November.
is November 14th or 15th ish.
Oh, okay. I
Pull up
think I'm going to be actually at my sister's during that time,
my calendar
taking care of her
here.
dog. So,
Hack Your Health is the 14th, 15th, 16th of November at the Tampa Convention Center.
I think I'll either be at my sister's house that time, or I will be coming home from my sister's house that time. So I'm going to be taking care of her Rottweiler puppy while they go pick up my niece in France too, for for Christmas and all that stuff.
Yeah. Rick
Um,
Rick says the teacher's lounge was cigarette central. Then when we were kids, yes, it was cigarette central. But when I taught, they took it's been a no smoking
right.
campus since 2001. But I stopped eating in the teacher's lounge because it's just too much time, too much negativity, gossip. I always ate in my room, and I enjoyed it. I would catch up on my emails and eat and watch stuff, and
Um,
yeah.
so one more question,
Yep.
and then we'll get going.
Then I got to
I'll
go.
end the stream soon.
Hey,
Okay.
Papa Carnivore, it's
But
Peter.
Lewis is asking. Well, first off, Papa just came into the
Yeah.
chat, so hello, Peter. How you doing? And Lewis is asking, what advice would you give a young teacher who wants to stay healthy and avoid burnout?
Oh gosh, my niece is an elementary school teacher of a few years, and my advice is to not take any work home every night or on the weekends. This is my advice now. This is what I did. I would always get to work early, 2 hours early, and do a lot of the work. Then the kids would come in, and then I would leave when it was time to go home, and I brought no work home with me. Some people stay after school a couple of hours and do it, and then they go home with no work. My advice is to separate your life from your work because it's so easy as a teacher to just encroach and take over and then get burnt out. So my advice is to do major time
Not not
management.
to not take your
Whatever
stress
works,
home with
yeah,
you.
whatever works for you, but my advice is don't take work home. There's always work. Yeah.
Okay. So I appreciate John you doing this for
You're
me,
welcome. Thanks for
and
having me. Appreciate
uh,
it.
my pleasure. And I hope you guys had just as much enjoyment as I did. I know I froze a few times, so I know my expressions on my face probably weren't that impressive, but
That's all right.
like I see myself right now frozen, and I
Oh,
look
you
like I
do see that
froze.
you're okay. Yeah.
I see it on the YouTube. I see it on the computer. I just
Oh,
don't see it
okay.
on my
All right.
phone.
Yeah. Well, it's
Um,
not a bad
but
expression right now.
yeah. So we're gonna end this. We're gonna end this now.
You guys want to stay on while I'm off, or we're going to end the whole
Um,
thing?
th- well, did you guys want to continue for after John?
You
That's
guys can
that's not a
stay on.
problem.
I have to go though. If you wanted to stay on, it's up to you.
Gemma just said she subscribed to your channel just
Hey,
now.
Jenna, thank
You
you
got
so
a new
much. Gemmett.
subscriber.
Gemmett.
Um,
048. Thanks, Gemmett. I'll look for you. Leave some
yeah.
comments and I'll talk back to you too on my channel.
Oh, no problem.
All right, I'm going
So
to head
yeah.
out then. Thank you. I
Okay,
appreciate this. Thank
we'll
you for
stay on for
having
a few
me.
more minutes, and then I have some chores I have to do myself, um, but we'll stay on,
All right.
and we'll have a good time.
Thanks
All
again.
right. So thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Thank you and thank your guests. Take care.
All right, so I don't know if I'm going to be keeping on freezing or not. So I do apologize in advance. And let me just see if, hold on one second. Lewis, would you like to come on? I'm not sure if Lewis is still here. I know his thing is here, but I don't want to bring him on if he'd rather stay off the screen. He's Lewis is one of my godsends. Him and Papa Carnivore are both moderators, but Lewis is like has a little bit more
Oh,
power. Now I'm up.
there you
Lewis
go.
just came on.
Can you hear me?
Um, for some reason, it has you offline, Lewis. I don't know why. Now you're by yourself.
Oh, so there's a delay. You're hearing a
I'm
delay.
guessing that you'll pop eventually. Oh, this is kind of weird. So I can't really hear you now on my phone. So I'm going to
Can the
turn
chat?
on
Can
just
the
for a
chat hear
second,
me?
just to see if I can hear you on my TV. Eventually, oh, this is kind of weird. So I can't really hear you now on my phone. So I'm going to
Can the
turn
chat?
on.
Can the chat hear me?
I
Oh,
can hear you on the YouTube. I can't really hear you now on my phone. So I'm going to turn on.
can the chat hear me?
I can hear you on the YouTube. I can't really hear you. This is really weird. I'm sorry. This is really, really weird. I muted the TV because I'm
Yeah,
hearing background noise, but I'm guessing you guys hear me. And I know Lewis is speaking, so let's just keep on speaking. Hopefully, we're not going to interrupt each other. Um, so I guess because of this, I guess maybe we should end it very soon. Just put your thumb up, Lewis, if you agree with that. And
yeah.
CB
We'll
says
talk
that I'm
again next
back,
time.
Thomas. Yeah, I never really actually left to see me. So, okay, so he's agreeing with that we should end the live now, and I have to concur. So I will end it really quickly, and so Louis, just give me a few minutes, a couple seconds, and live, love, heal, and as you know, as my guest would say today, eat the meat.